Before anything, I will say that I fucking called it. That Kamir, or whatever his name is, was the master all along because, duh. It's point blank in your face if you're paying attention. But if you're not, and you're just eating slop, which this is basically is if you're not paying attention, then that's on you. This episode had a lot of combat, which was great. It was nice to see. Best in Star Wars? No, but it was good. Some scenes made me laugh though, like that one guy just waiting to get pulled into a lightsaber. But other than that, no real issues besides maybe some power scaling sort of issues, right? So we see like the Master kill a whole bunch of Jedi Knights, I presume, right? And he fights Soul, and they get into a little bit of a fight, and it was fine. It was an alright fight, I guess. But Kamir is playing mind games on him, and he disappears. Where the fuck did he go, right? And he finds Jackie arresting May. Speaking of Jackie and May, the fight between them was good because it was a fight between two people of similar levels, and it makes the combat that much more better. It shines more, and it was a great, interesting fight. But the fact that May lost like continues to highlight how much of a failure she is, and brings her, like, it gives us like the actual level of May's like combat abilities, which is like, I guess, like Jedi Padawan level, which is not great, but who knows? Maybe Jackie is a world, like, a Coruscant renowned like duelist or whatever the fuck, right? Who knows, right? So after that, Kamir, the Master, the Sith, whatever, right, starts fighting Jackie, and she gets overpowered instantly, and she's losing. But I don't know why they have it to where she's actually fighting back and is actually like holding her own when she starts using the Wookiee Jedi's lightsaber. And I'm just sitting here thinking more lightsabers doesn't equal more power. Two lightsabers are more difficult to use and control, so I don't know how she was able to fight back decently, but you fucking got me, Chief. Soul would catch up, and both Jackie and Soul would fight Kamir, which, where Jackie fucking dies, which, wonderful, right? I'm actually rooting for this man because none of these characters fucking mattered. And oh yeah, fucking Yord died somewhere in there too. But yeah, they didn't really matter. They were just there with some okay-ish to bad dialogue, and that's it. Of course, these characters had like great potential, like character-wise, if the series was fucking good. But but let's get back on track here, right? So let's talk about how all this fuck shit happened, right? So there is an alloy called the what is it called? Cortosis alloy, if I remember right, that can short circuit lightsabers. Like, it's happened with Darth Vader when he was fighting against a bunch of Jedi, and his lightsaber got shorted out, and they thought they could actually take him because he didn't have a lightsaber. Biggest mistake of their fucking life. But I don't know how Kamir here has a fucking helmet and a gauntlet made of it, but whatever, because it's super rare, and it's not something you come by, right? Unless he specifically knows where to find the shit. But who knows, right? Who the fuck knows? And this is how he was able to really fight multiple Jedi at the same time, short-circuiting their lightsabers and fucking them up, which was interesting to see. It's neat stuff. It's neat stuff. I just wish it was in a show with a story I care about, right? Like, I couldn't give a fuck less about the story in The Acolyte because who the fuck cares? And it is revealed that Kamir is a Sith. Like, he actually said that he is Sith. I'm confused on how, like, where, because I'm under the impression this is 100 years before Anakin. So there is Palpatine, before him was Plagueis, and before Plagueis it was another Sith Master who, from looking on Google, he's not really human. So I don't know who the fuck Kamir is. I don't know what's his Sith name or whatever, right? But who knows, right? And yeah, and what makes me laugh is that Soul is like questioning him on who he is and all this and that, because You see a guy with a red lightsaber killing Jedi and hiding his face. What else could he be? Like, come on, man. Like, do they not have any history classes over there at the fucking temple? Maybe not, because they just go ahead and make sure everyone's following a certain doctrine and whatever, right? So like there wasn't no realization who he is. It was just spelled out for him. It's pretty lackluster. You know what was also lackluster? How the episode ended, I suppose, right? With May and Osha confronting each other. And I knew it, May having this underlying obsession with Osha underneath the cracks, which honestly the show only shows it when it needs to, because, fuck May, I guess, and her character development. And at the same time, why didn't she try to help find her sister, talk to Jackie during her fight with her? Didn't she say last fucking episode that she was going to give herself up to the Jedi, and now that her master is here, she's just going to run away? This shit is dumb, man. Why didn't she just try to help? But anyways, yeah, I'm getting annoyed by this shit. So let's get back to Kimir. It's obvious it was him. He is Sith for some reason, and he chose a weak acolyte, and he acknowledges that she is weak, that May is weak, and still decided to risk exposure for her anyway. So yeah. I guess they show that he could use Force Heal. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw at the very end. Like, what the fuck? Is this now really common now? Is this a common ability? What's going on here? Personally, Kamir doesn't seem very smart to me, even in like episode 2, when he was just pretending to be an idiot, but I feel like he's still a little bit of an idiot. And I'm just sitting here like, it's not very smart from a line of Sith that's been hiding for 900 years or something, right? Since he is looking for an apprentice, I would assume he killed his master. So again, who the fuck is he? He can't be Plagueis, because Plagueis is some ugly, tall, skinny dude. Maybe he gets disfigured and looks like Plagueis or whatever, right? Or will they follow like, the same path where he isn't really Sith but a follower of the religion, and he doesn't have much training, which explains why he's kind of ass and relies on other things, right? And like he can't really kill masters besides, I guess, maybe the Wookiee Jedi, because I guess he was not really struggling against Soul. Like it was like they're equally matched, but man, I don't fucking know, man. And I don't know if they're gonna go ahead and go the route that he is not really truly part of the two, and I guess they might have Plagueis when he's young hunt him down because he's not really part of the Sith and he's risking exposure, and almost got them found out and so on. So who the fuck knows, right? We'll see later on in the series, but as of right now, this shit is just it's just dumb. It's dumb. It to me, there's just so many questions. Like, if he is Sith, that wasn't somehow culled, like, years prior, and isn't part of the Sith Rule 2 duo or whatever. Like, how does he exist? Like, is there another like duo of 2 that are following the rule of 2? So that means potentially we have 4 Sith in the universe. Man, fuck, man, I don't fucking know. Like, they also keep alluding to the sins of Soul and the other Jedi and what happened that night. I couldn't really give a fuck less about what happened. And, I guess May switches places with Osha, and Kamir now has Osha, so fuck, man, let's see where this goes, because I I personally don't give a shit. It's not like May doesn't have a big ass fucking mark on her head, on her big ass fucking forehead, showing that she is May or anything, right? It's this shit is so fucking dumb. So is no one gonna go ahead and look at the big ass mark on her head? So god damn, dude. But overall, this episode's combat is good. Questionable here and there, but good. Everything else, not anything to be excited about. One thing I will say is that I gotta amend episode 4's score to a 6, because I liked the dialogue because it built off the backs of the other episodes, but nothing fucking happened, and things were just dumb, right? And in this episode, things were a little bit more fun with the combat, but still dumb. But yes, episode 4 is now reduced down to a 6. This episode is reduced down to a 6 because, nothing in this episode was insane or had a crazy reveal or anything really interesting happened besides the fights. Episode 5, and I don't know where the series will go because, again, they either all have to die with the secret that the Sith are around or keep a secret alive while they are alive that goes against everything that we know from Star Wars and dooming the galaxy in the future that we all know about, which is fucking worse, right? It just boggles the mind. It confuses me because I just want Star Wars to be great. I want things to make sense, especially in the known canon. It's fine to add things along, but if you're just making Anakin at home corner store version of him or whatever, and you're just making a story that is trying to shift a sort of perspective and a sort of like the history of Star Wars in a specific time, because there's really nothing built there, so you're just trying to build your own story into that. I would suggest you not. But hey, I'm just some guy on the internet talking shit. So yeah, this episode of the Acolyte was fun for the fights. The Cortosis alloy stuff was pretty cool to see, but goddamn, man, I wish I wish it was in something more cooler, like, the Mandalorian, I guess. And, nothing in this episode warranted any sort of praise or anything besides the fights. Like, what do you guys think about it? Am I crazy? Am I fucking crazy for thinking any of this? Just let me down below. What do you guys think of the episode? What are your thoughts on the series so far? Let me know in the comments. Stay safe mentally, emotionally, and physically. And, same thing as always, guys. See you guys later.